Hey there, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a word that gets thrown around all the time: stewardship. It's a huge concept, right? It affects everything from that big project at work to, how we look after the planet. But what does it actually mean? Let's get into it. But before we get into the nitty-gritty definitions, I want you to think about something. What does it truly mean to be in charge of something? Like, really in charge? Is it just about having power, calling the shots, or is there something deeper going on? Just let that question simmer for a bit as we go. Okay, so let's actually do that. Let's break this big idea down and build it back up, one simple piece at a time. So here's the bedrock definition. Stewardship is all about the responsible overseeing and protection of something that's, well, worth caring about. It's not just sitting back and watching. Nope, it's active. It's about protecting something important. This right here, this is the foundation for everything we're about to discuss. Okay, so where does it all start? You might be surprised. It doesn't start with doing something. It actually starts before any action is taken at all. It all kicks off with trust. Think of it as a handshake. A promise is made and a charge is accepted. This is the real starting line.
Yeah, it's really like a two-sided coin, this whole stewardship thing. On one side, you've got entrusted. That's the trust you receive. And on the flip side, you have responsibility. That's the accountability you accept. You really can't have one without the other. They're totally linked.
Let's zoom in on that first one, entrusted. What does that even mean? It's basically someone putting their faith in you. They're handing you something important, a project, a team, heck, even just a secret, and saying, I trust you with this. I believe you're going to take care of it. And what's the natural response to being entrusted with something? It's responsibility. This is where you step up. It's you saying, okay, I accept. This is on me now. You're taking ownership. You're accountable for what happens next. It's that moment you look them in the eye and say, I've got this. All right, so the foundation is laid. Trust has been given. Responsibility has been accepted. So what now? Now we get to the action part. This is what a steward actually does with what they've been given.
The day-to-day work of a steward really boils down to three main things. You can think of them as the engine that makes the whole thing run: management, supervision, and care. Let's take a look at each one.
First, we've got management. Now, I know what you're thinking. Spreadsheets, to-do lists, right? But it's so much more than that. This is about actually pushing for success, especially when the going gets tough. Anyone can steer a ship in calm waters. Real management is about navigating the storm to get where you need to go. Next up is supervision. This one's pretty straightforward. It's about paying attention. You're keeping an eye on things, guiding the process, making sure everything is moving in the right direction. It's that constant check-in to make sure things are on track and done right. And last but definitely not least is care. Honestly, this might be the secret sauce. This is the human part. It's about genuinely being invested, actually giving a darn. This is what turns simple work into real, true stewardship. It's the difference between just managing a task and being a true steward of it.
So, let's recap. We've got the foundation, trust and responsibility, and we've got the actions, management, supervision, and care. But why do all this? What's the point? What's the end goal here?
It all comes down to one single word: protection.
And this is where it all comes full circle. Protection is how you fulfill that promise you made right at the start. It's about keeping the thing you were entrusted with safe from danger, from loss, from harm. When you do that, you're making good on that initial trust.
Okay, we've taken the whole idea apart. Now let's put all the pieces back together and talk about the so what. How does this whole framework actually show up in your life? So here it is, the whole shebang. It all starts when you're entrusted with something. You meet that trust with your own responsibility. Then you get to work, using management, supervision, and a whole lot of care. And what's the final result of all that effort? It's protection. See how each piece builds on the next? That right there is stewardship. And look, this isn't just for CEOs or world leaders. Not at all. This is a principle for everyday life. You can be a steward of a project at work, sure, but you can also be a steward of a friendship, or your family's budget, or even your own health. It's really just a mindset for living responsibly. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Just take a second and look around at your life, your job, your relationships, your goals. What have you been entrusted with? What are you responsible for? What are you a steward of? And more importantly, How can you apply these ideas, maybe even starting today?